we're going to give some of you guys your 15 minutes of fame. Russell ran into quite a few dissidents on the streets of London outside the Royal Courts of Justice. And so we are going to play our next piece of footage here, which is Russell mixing it up with some of you guys. So if you're watching now, there's a chance you might see yourself on screen. Here's Russell outside the Royal Courts.
All right, so we are live here at the Royal Courts of Justice with a bunch of people who have the poor taste to actually watch our show. Okay, so all right, so what I really want to ask here, come together a little bit. So, you know, you have this Irish hate speech law pending. I got to tell you, and let me ask actual British people. Maybe I'm making assumptions. I have shirts that I did not bring because I was afraid I'd get detained at the airport from some of the things that I see over here. Like I've got a like NPC shirt I've got a shirt with the NPC meme. That says I support the current thing, that has like the jab, and it has all kind Ukrainian flag. I was like, man, I better not bring that. Like, they got hate speech laws over there. I saw a few months ago they dragged an autistic girl out of her house. I don't know if you saw that story. You know what I'm talking about?
There's too many. There's just too many.
So what's going on over here with that? Is that just I'm seeing very selective coverage?
I think that's just the fringes. If I'm honest, if you challenge power, then they've got no worries about using it. Outside of that, like the country seems very much the same as it did 10 years ago. But at those fringes, it's coming in. So if you had a show which was 10 times the size, I would be very worried, because you would be on all their list probably. Like if you said Ben Greenwood who came over with that
the biggest changes are clearly from social media. I literally get banned from social media for like a week at a time every time I say anything that's truthful at all. Like, it's totally insane. Like, I can barely use Facebook or any of these things anymore. I never used Twitter till recently, and then I decided I may as well start using this.
Look, they're coming for you. They're coming for you already.
I know, that was a bit off, wasn't it? You had a little look, didn't it?
I was like, that's it.
You're making a great job at the Jimmy Dore show.
Oh, you saw me?
Excellent. I love it how you and Aaron Mate and Pasta and these people take over.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for coming here.
Well, it's the most important freedom of speech, freedom of the press case in, I would say, 2 generations since the Pentagon Papers. That was the last thing this significant to freedom of the press. See a lot of people out here, a lot of action, a lot of press, but our friends here in the UK tell me, just like in the US, this story is largely suppressed. One of them was telling me it was just a footnote in The Guardian today, and not covered the way that it should be, just like in our own fair land. You're on camera.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I watch you on Jimmy Dore.
You don't watch us on DueDissidence? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We love he the man. He's been going back and forth a lot. Popping in on our show when I'm out there.
Yeah.
But doing his a lot. So what are you doing out here today?
So I'm a medical doctor, and I'm part of the Doctors for Assange group. And I've come to show my support for the release of Julian Assange. Also, I really wanted to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Shout out to Keith.
So where do you watch the show from?
Well, I was watching in Japan, of all places. That's where.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure what your analytics say. I might have been the only one.
No, we've got, you know what? Over the last few months, our audience has gone very international. I believe that the majority of our audience now is outside the U.S.
I'm not surprised.
The majority.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask Ian about that, but I could swear I saw like 60% at one point was overseas.
Okay. I just moved here a couple of weeks ago. I'm so glad I could come here.
You know, it's what they told Michael Moore when he started making his documentaries. That'll never work. Americans don't get irony.
No, they don't.
So that might be why we're doing better. That might be why we're doing better overseas. All right, thank you very much, man. Thank you. Very nice to meet you. All right, so you know we have a lot of fans over here, apparently, in the UK, and so more importantly, does Julian Assange.
SMS 710.
What's that?
Patreon.
Oh, you're a patron? What's your name?
SMS 710.
All right. Keaton will know that.
Steve, how you doing? I did email you.
Oh, you did?
I said I might be here and I'll pop in and say hi.
All right. Oh, look at the shirt. I love it. I love it. He's sporting the Revolutionary Blackout Network, man. Our friends at RBN.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this over to Nick and CJ, man. They'll love that.
Yeah. Hopefully, you're gonna do the broadcast this afternoon, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're doing the patron
Patreon
thing.
Yeah.
You can stand right next to me and call in.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I've exactly got the phone to call in. I'm a bit of an old boy, but you know.
Oh, what? Hang on. Let me. That is. You're like a time traveler with that.
Yeah, you know. I don't like getting the data out there. You know what I mean?
So what brings you out here for Assange?
I've travelled up this morning from Devon.
Okay.
So just to come up and support Julian, show a bit of solidarity. You know, hopefully they make the right decision, but I'm not convinced they will. Unfortunately.
Well, how do you think it's going to end up?
Unfortunately, I think it may end up being extradited. I can't see them changing it somehow. I don't think so.
You know, people you would expect to be here. Obviously, Hedges is floating around. But yeah, man. I mean, this should be.
Just going to pause it 1 second for those of you guys who are wondering what this layout is. This is a clip from our patron show. So if you're not a patron, this is what you missed. We went live for about an hour from the Royal Courts on our patron show. So this is a little sneak peek of that.
The biggest event in the Western world right now. And, you know, people are uninformed about it. I can't even say they're misinformed. They're not
look
informed.
over your shoulder. We got a guy sporting some merch. Look over your right shoulder. Sorry, dyslexic.
Oh snap!
Oh, right. Look at that. We got an Inception going right now. Look at that. That's wild.
All right, hang on. So our friend here.
Hi there. Can you hear me now? Now you can hear me, right?
Selfie. All right,
You can hear me now, right?
live, man.
Oh wow! Okay,
That's it. Now
here we are.
Now you're on a list.
That's right.
We're in the city of London. I have been an activist for Julian Assange for the last 4 years, and the reason I am, Julian came on my radar when toxic waste was being dumped in Africa, and the Guardian newspaper had the story and was going to print it, and a company, I think they were called Trafigura, put an injunction and stopped the story from being printed. And I was like, what? Then Julian put the story online on the internet. And I thought, what? And then when I heard Julian got,
Yeah, that's why he's in there right
not
now.
an arrest.
That and a lot of things like it.
It's not an arrest, it's state kidnapping.
Yeah.
Stop calling it arrest. This is a state kidnapping on behalf of the security state in this country and in America. The two worst security people in the world, by the way. And the sad thing about it, I was born and raised in England, and you're an American. you've probably got the same kind of information I got, thinking your country is the greatest country in the world and all that. But the reason I'm here is because...
I mean, I figured out that wasn't true pretty early on.
No, but in the back of your mind, you're hoping. Roger Waters talked about his father dying in the Second World War.
Yeah.
This is not what their parents died for. They didn't die for you to be kidnapping people for telling the truth. That's not what they fought in the Second World War for. You are becoming what you said Russia and Germany was.
Exactly. Exactly.
You understand? Excuse my language, but I'm watching it more authoritarian as it goes on. Julian predicted all this. Kit Ironberg, the journalist, coming back from holidays in England, being stopped at the airport in England. His passwords, his computer's taken. You're lucky he didn't get that.
Honestly, I did not bring my more inflammatory T-shirts intentionally for that reason, including my Roger Waters shirt.
Wow.
I didn't bring it because I was like, man, I'm bringing my press pass. If they see the press pass, maybe they start going through my shit. And then they see my Roger Waters thing, just
England and America are becoming more authoritarian as the days go on.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they used to try and pretend they weren't. Now, they're not hiding it no more.
Well, because they're losing legitimacy.
Yes.
Whenever elites lose legitimacy, they clamp down on speech. They clamp down on expression.
And what makes me laugh, they think by censoring indie media like you guys and Jimmy Dore and all that, and great work on Jimmy Dore, by the way, I was really enjoying those. And that nutty Kurt Metzer. Kurt is off the chain. They think by cancelling RT here and all these channels, that we're going to start watching them. They can forget it.
We got another fan.
Oh, hey there. How's it going? Maybe that's why no one's calling in. Is everybody there in person? Is that it? Is the audience all out on the street now? Are all of our viewers out there now?
All right. So what do you want to say to the folks? What do you want to say to the dissidents?
I hadn't thought that far. I'm just saying, tell everyone in London to come out.
You're an American, man. What are you doing in this godforsaken wasteland?
Yeah, I can agree with you. I've lived here.
It is so goddamn. It's reminding me, because I haven't been here in 18 years. It's reminding me how fucking cold and damp and gray it is.
Miserable, yes. And this is a sunny day.
It's brutal here in New York, if it's any consolation. It is brutally cold out
I do
today.
like the program, and I'm glad you guys are here covering it. And we wonder, there's every news media outlet in the world here, and you'll probably never see any of the footage. So you guys are putting it out, so good for you. Good on you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're doing our best, and thanks to WikiLeaks for hooking us up. All right. There's some mixing it up with the dissidents on the streets of London. Fun. That was just a small sampling of people who approached you.
There's a lot of people, that I didn't get on camera. I had a really nice, his name was Peter. He's a $30 a month patron. Young kid, Asian guy, and he was talking to me in a coffee shop. I was just grabbing a coffee. It was like the only way to stay warm out there. Yesterday was brutal, man, with the rain. It was raining all day. It was really rough. But he approached me and he said the show has inspired him to speak out. He was also saying, this was interesting, that his parents were libs, basically, that his family were libs. But he was saying all of his friends are left, like legit left, not libs. And it was very frustrating to the white people because his friends were Latino and black. And it was the white people he knew who were libs. But in his experience, Asian people, black people, Latino, they're much further to the left than that. And that was a lot of what he'd be fighting with his family about. I felt like it was a kind of intimate moment, so I didn't want to pull out the camera. Right. But man, it was very cool. There was an Australian photojournalist covering it who was really excited to see me, who's watching the show. So it was very cool.
Yeah,
it's strange. I asked some people about it because I said, there's no equivalent. Even when we have British commentators like Piers Morgan that are known in America, they're talking about American politics.
Right.
They're not talking about British politics. And, the answer I got back again and again was, well, we're the lapdogs of the United States, so we have to pay attention to what America's doing because it's going to come here next.
Please clap.